Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Hannah and these are all the books I want to read this summer. Summer is getting really close to starting and it's coming up really fast. This summer I have a goal, this year I have a goal of reading as many books on my physical TBR as possible. But this summer I have a specific list of books that I want to get through. I'm going to start that list now. Starting off strong, you know them, you love them, they're intimidating, they're massive. It's the ACOTAR series. If you don't know what the ACOTAR series is, you're probably living under a rock because it's extremely popular. It's literally just so popular. All my friends who have read it have literally just raved about it and said that it's probably their favorite book of all time. I actually don't know much about this series. From what I know though, it follows a normal girl who lives in like this magical realm. I believe it has romance, magic, tragedy, betrayal, enemies to lovers, politics. It has pretty much everything you could ask for in a fantasy. So my goal is to read the full series this summer. It's a 5-book series, I believe, so it's pretty lengthy and the books are not thin. They're like, maybe like 2 of them are like 300-400 pages long, but if I had to guess, the majority of them are like 600 plus pages. But I want to get through them. I need to know what the hype is about. All of my friends literally rave about it and I love fantasy, so why haven't I read it yet? Make it make sense. Next up, I want to read a duology by Alex Aster. It's the first books I believe she ever wrote. I don't know what the duology is called, but I know the first book is called Curse of the Night Witch, I believe. From what I know about these books, again, I don't know too much, but from what I do know, it's either like a young adult fantasy or like young adult dystopian with some mythology in it. And I believe it follows a young boy, I think he's like 12 years old or something, and he has a fated destiny. He wants to change that destiny, so he makes a wish, comes true, it changes his destiny, but as a result, as like a price of changing the destiny, his lifespan gets cut short, like way shorter than it's meant to be. So he and his friends go on a journey to find this woman, I guess, called the Night Witch, or that's what she's known as. She's kind of like a legend. No one knows if she exists. No one knows if she actually has powers or not, but they go on a journey to find her because they believe that she can reverse the effects of the wish that he made. And I don't know if he gets the same destiny but his life back, or if there's more to the story or not. I'm not sure, but I'm excited to read the duology. Coming in third, I really want to read Mother of Death and Dawn. It's the 3rd book in a trilogy. I love this series. It's so good so far. Again, it's another fantasy book. Can you tell what I like? It's the 3rd book in a romantasy trilogy. It's filled with danger, sacrifice, love, betrayal. There's a lot of politics in this one. There wasn't that many politics in the 1st book. In the 2nd book, it was a lot of politics. I don't know if the 3rd book is going to be like a combination of the two or if it's going to lean more on the politics side or not, but I loved the romance in this story. It's definitely a slow burn. It definitely gets you on your feet and you're like, just make out already. It's a slow burn. It's good. I loved it and I'm excited to continue this series. Actually, this is the last book in the series, so I'll be finishing it, which will be so nice if I can do that because I'm trying to finish series that I'm in the middle of, so that would literally be perfect. It follows, let's see, I couldn't remember what it follows, so I had to like look it up or like read the description of it on Goodreads, and it says it follows a strong female character and her allies as they face ancient powers and impossible choices. There's rich world building, emotional depth, and it's high stakes magic. Okay, literally that brief description was perfect for this series. Just reading it kind of brought me back to the world a little bit. It is a little bit on the darker side and it is very immersive, but I will warn you, these books are pretty thick, so it might take me a little bit to get through, but my goal is to read it this summer because I would love to check that series off my list. That would be so cool. Number 4, I believe, is Keeping 13. I don't remember what the 1st book is called. I read it like a year or 2 ago, maybe like 2 years ago, and I just never finished it even though it left off on a cliffhanger. This is book 2 in that series. I think there's a lot, but I don't know how fast I'm gonna get through the series, but I would love to get a little bit deeper into the series. If you don't know how the 1st book left off, it left off, I believe, on a cliffhanger where our main character Shannon came home to an abusive situation because she lives in an abusive household. Her dad specifically is very abusive towards her emotionally and physically sometimes. She's in the midst of trying to go through a new school and make new friends, and then you know, that's hard enough, and she comes home and is in danger even just in her home from her father. While she was making new friends at her new school and everything, she had met this boy Johnny and they had started falling for each other. You know, there's a lot more plot and depth to their relationship, but the first book ends on the cliffhanger of he starts finding out you know, about her situation, because she had kept all of her scars and all of her, I guess, emotional baggage, like a secret from him, you know, throughout their relationship. And now he's finally starting to uncover it. So I believe the first book leaves with him uncovering all this and then being like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what's going on with her and I love her and I just want to keep her safe. I believe the second book picks up with him kind of uncovering all the truth of this and trying to help her, and that's what I can only assume. I don't know for sure, I haven't read it yet, but that's what I assume. I'm so excited to get farther in this series. I hear from so many people that this is such a good series, so I'm really excited to get back into it. Next up on the list is, I wrote them on my phone so I wouldn't forget. Next up, okay, this is a little bit of a different kind of book, but I really want to read Peter Pan, like the original story, because when I think of Peter Pan, I think of like the Disney movie. I'm sure we all do. You know, it's just very lighthearted. It's very fun and magical and just very fun. But from what I hear, what I've heard, the person who wrote Peter Pan's story wrote it a lot darker. And I hear that there's supposed to be like a huge like tragedy, and it's supposed to be a very tragic story, but I have no clue what that means. I don't know if that means Peter Pan's character is more darker and twisted, or if like the plot of the story is just like more tragic, or I literally have no clue. But I really want to read the original version of it because I love seeing how older stories, like more classics that we know, are changed so heavily in like today's society. So I'm really excited to see what the original story was. After that, I really want to read The Giver. What's funny about The Giver is that I was looking up on Goodreads. I was trying to find like a brief description so I could kind of tell you a little bit about what it's about if you didn't know already, because I don't really know what it's about. And it was just funny because when I looked it up on Goodreads, you know, usually there's like 1 or 2 paragraphs to describe the book. Goodreads gave you like 1 sentence, and it was like such a small sentence just to describe the whole book, and I was like, what the heck? Okay, the description of the book on Goodreads is, at the age of 12, Jonas, a young boy from a seemingly utopian, futuristic world, is singled out to receive special training from the Giver, who alone holds the memories of true joys and pain of life. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but it sounds intriguing to me. So that's next up on my list. And then the last book on my summer TBR list is called Blue Sisters. I actually have been wanting to read this for a while. I think I got it last Christmas, and I just haven't gotten the chance to pick it up yet, or I just haven't been in the mood to read it yet. So I've been wanting to read it for a while, but I keep pushing it back because I feel like it's a summer read, and I'm such a mood reader that if I'm not in the mood to read it, then I'm just not in the mood to read it, and I'm not going to read it. Or if I try to read it when I'm not in the mood for it, then I'll get in a book slump. So I kept pushing it back, but I decided it's a summer read. I want to get through it. I want to read it. I want to check it off my list, and it's going to help with my goal of reading physical books anyway. It follows a story of 4 sisters who are grown up now, and they all have their separate lives. Some of them are married. The other ones are really invested in their career and whatnot. So they all have their own separate lives now. So one of the sisters tragically passes away, and it forces the other 3 sisters to come back together and meet at their childhood home for her funeral. They meet at the childhood home, and I guess it forces them to like confront memories of the past that they'd rather forget. So it kind of just forces them in proximity with each other to confront their past, confront their relationships with each other. From what I know, it's mostly a coming of age story. It's supposed to just be about love, sisterly love, and redemption, and facing your fears and past, all that kind of stuff. And that sounds like such a fun read to me, especially for me. I have 2 sisters, so we've always been really close, and we're all married now, so we all have our own lives, and sometimes it can be hard to make time for each other when you're just so busy. Kind of reading about like sister relationships or like sisterly dynamics always interests me. That's why I loved Little Women, you know, that book and movie even. Those so good, literally so good. They just hit home for me, and I just love reading about them so much. So I'm hoping that that's gonna be a good story, but honestly, that's my list for summer 2025. It's not too big, it's not too small. I think I can get through it. Hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers. If you know any of these books, or if you have any opinions on any of these books, let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. I hope you liked this video. I'll see you next time. Bye!